So last night I went out with mates and had a few drinks and we watched Joker together, and overall I say we enjoyed it very much. In this review I'll give a quick breakdown on how I feel with the film and my thoughts on the controversy surrounding it. While I was skeptical at first of an origin story for the Joker, I must say Todd Phillips did a great job directing and doing some good with the film. The story essentially follows the idea presented in The Killing Joke, of one bad day being enough to break a man into madness with a few changes to the Killing Joke formula. The overall tone and feel of the film reminded me of A Clockwork Orange, with the hero being a horrible psychopath that we'd never actually want to meet, but still root for them anyway. So real quick, I'll just list off all the things I liked about the film. The story's pretty grounded and solid, with Gotham actually feeling like a living and breathing city. The cinematography is gorgeous, there's actually some pretty good dark humour present throughout the film, from walking into glass doors to taking the mick out of short people. But because the humour isn't frequently present, it doesn't take too much away from the plot. And finally, the performances. Joaquin Phoenix does a brilliant job of portraying the man who laughs, and you feel everything he feels when he's being taken down another peg by life. It takes real skill to be able to audibly laugh with a look of sheer depression and upset on your face, and Phoenix has that. It's enough for me to be sympathetic and root for him, but again, not enough for me to want to be him when he turns into the clown that we all know. That being said, the film isn't exactly perfect either. There are a few moments that didn't really feel like they need to be in the final cut. Arthur does something really early in the film and then suddenly there are riots and protests the next day. And it does lean a little into Batman's origins, which can either be good or bad depending on how much you're into DC, but the fact that we see those pearls break off of Martha Wayne's neck again is a little annoying for me. If you like The Dark Knight and how grounded that was, you're probably going to like the Joker. So the important question is Phoenix better than Ledger? As annoying as it is, it's not as simply cut and dry as who is better, as both are in their league of their own. Ledger will always be amazing as the anarchist sociopath that just wants everything to burn, that's all agreed on, but Phoenix is brilliant at showing us a tortured man that finally has enough with society, and the spiral down he takes into madness. An aspect that couldn't really work with the Dark Knight's Joker, as he had no solid motive or background, but works well with Phoenix's everyday man pushed to the edge. Definitely better than whatever the fuck was going on in Suicide Squad. Overall, I'd give the film a 7.5 out of 10. Not perfect, and if you're a die-hard comic book fan, an origin story for the Joker may not be to your tastes, but it's still a great movie on its own and it is definitely worth watching. So if it's an alright comic book movie, then what's with all the bad press? Well, like how Hitler ruined toothbrush mustaches and how Reddit ruined the name Karen, Incels ruined the character of the Joker. For those not in the loop, Incels, involuntary celibates, are man-children that dwell on the internet essentially being horrible to everyone, racist, sexist, and overall sound like villains from a Roald Dahl book. They also believe that they deserve to be treated better than everyone else because sometimes they aren't rude and should be given a girlfriend that'll do everything they say because they're entitled shits. Because they spend every waking hour on the internet and playing video games, they call themselves gamers, and blame the fact that nobody likes their shit personalities on society, and that society hates them for playing video games. You know who else doesn't like modern society? Joker! And so naturally they praise the clown like a god because he understands them and speaks to them on a spiritual level as an outcast of society. With a mosque shooting in New Zealand happening earlier this year, and with the shooter being a 4chan incel, the media soon caught on to this. And with them worshipping the Joker, naturally the media are trying to scare people away from cinemas with the idea that another incel is going to pop up and shoot everyone there. Really, it's just more scare stories because that's how the news sells papers. And with the existence of incels, the Joker is that scare story waiting to happen. Don't take what I say as 100% fact on this because there's an awful lot of grey area, but from what I've seen and from what I understand, that's pretty much my take of it. At least we got some good memes out of it though. So that's Joker. Like I said, worth the watch whether you're a comic book fan or just want something good to watch in theatres. Do your best to ignore the shit the press is giving it and find out for yourself whether you like it or not because at the end of the day, it's just another movie.